What's going on, everyone? So today we're diving into some MAUL ECL. I actually did a video on this, but it was during the force table days where we didn't really get in some amazing games because we were against the AI. So we're returning to it because I had a lot of people from my Patreon actually request I return to MAUL ECL. And not only that, but we also saw a lot of MAULs just popping up in some of the metagame from the previous tournament. It wasn't like a crazy dominant force from MAUL, but it was certainly in that like 6th to 10th style of most popular decks. And so, well, let's really give this another run back and see what we could do. Hopefully you all are going to enjoy this video. I want to give a big thank you to my patrons over on Patreon, giving me some of these ideas and of course supporting the channel. And I have a TCG player link in the description down below. Be sure to use it for all your Star Wars Unlimited card needs. Let's talk about MAUL ECL and some cool things that we're able to do with this guy. So first off, MAUL himself, he's got this action to give anything overwhelm essentially for a single attack. Now, this is actually pretty interesting. It more affects the later game. Now, we actually have a lot of units that already have Overwhelm. Things like MAUL, things like Palp, things like Crate Dragon all have Overwhelm. But things like Kylo Ren, Darth Maul, Darth Vader all don't have Overwhelm. It can even be really good on some earlier game units like Fifth Brother, or even something that pumped up or got pumped up by Hu Yang. We can get in a little point of damage. But honestly, that's not really the amazing part of him. It's actually the fact that he deploys as a 6 to deploy 6/6. And he is a force unit. So you get a really high powered unit right as you flip. Now, we've seen this with Anakin, just how massively important that can be. Deploying on 6, being your endgame win con, and MAUL is exactly that. And what's nice about it is in Villainy, we get access to Overwhelming Barrage on the same turn. So we could actually Overwhelming Barrage for 8 almost every single game when MAUL comes down, allowing us to catch up on board, which is really nice. So the idea here is we're ramping a little bit with Price in Your Heads, Resupply, Super Laser Technicians. We're trying to get MAUL out and we're trying to use him to our advantage. Alongside that, we have a little bit of force synergy with a bunch of units like Darth Maul, Kylo being our ECL targets, and also our force throw options. We also have a couple early game plays to not get overwhelmed, Fallen Lightsaber to go on MAUL and any of our other force units, and a late game package with Darth Vader, Mauls, Palpatines, and Crate Dragons to benefit from all that ramp. So what we're going to do, try to see if we can really do some work with some MAUL ECL. I'm excited about this list. I am a little bit worried because I know the deck's out there and we're going to see how well we can compete. I know that Overwhelming Barrage plus Force Throw on the same turn that MAUL comes down is a good thing to do, but we're not going to get it every game. So let's see what we can do. And let's dive into some games. All right, we got to start us off against Cad Bane Red. I know a lot of people have been really enjoying this deck. This is a pretty bad hand, to be honest. I'm going to go to mulligan this one, see if we can do something a little bit better. And unfortunately, it's also a pretty mediocre hand. I'm going to go and resource this MAUL and this Emperor Palpatine. And my opponent's going to pass, which means I'm going to claim initiative. I think opponents trying to pass to get advantage out of their Tarkin town is a little bit worrisome, right? It's a little bit scary to do, especially if, well, in some cases, you might fall behind on board. There's another resupply. Very interesting. We also got ourselves a Hu Yang. Let's go ahead and just drop in our MAUL. I know I could ECL it out, but I'm just going to drop it in and see what we could do. I know we can resupply, but we're not going to be able to do anything really after that. So there comes the Cartel Spacer. Our opponent, let's see if they decide to kill MAUL with both of their units. If they do, I think I'm okay with that. Hopefully they don't hit an event here. They are going to Tarkin Town. Okay, so they use their Tarkin Town already, which I absolutely love. That's very good news for us. And here I could go Overwhelming Barrage, or I can go Resupply plus Fallen Lightsaber. I think I'll resource this Phase 3 Dark Trooper, however, and we'll see what my opponent wants to do here. I'm tempted to go Overwhelming Barrage as it is just an extremely powerful play. So we're going to deploy out the MAUL, and we're going to see what my opponent has here. They can go ahead and use Bib Fortuna to, play events. Asteroid Sanctuary, huh? Okay. In that case, I will just go ahead and play out a Kylo Ren as well. Just get two very powerful threats. Asteroid Sanctuary just being a little bit cheaper here, which is nice for our opponent. We could deal 1 damage to our Kylo Ren. And then, let's see. They grabbed an Asteroid Sanctuary Part 2. And then let's see here. I am going to resource probably this Silencer since it looks pretty bad in the face of a Cartel Spacer. And I'm just going to attack Jabba, get rid of him right off the bat. See if they're going to play the Asteroid Sanctuary here. Looks like they are. We're going to go ahead and play a Seasoned Shore Trooper. Here comes Cad Bane, but we're going to be able to kill off Cad Bane and get rid of some shield tokens here. Boom. 1, 1. And that's going to be absolutely amazing. So Cad Bane no longer can use his ability here. And we'll see if my opponent even has anything to really interact with that. So we have a Maul here. And I think I will go ahead and Maul my opponent. Or do I just want to go ahead and attack in? Tricky scenario here. Because we're kind of in the tempo area where our opponent could definitely cause some problems if they're able to exhaust a bunch of our units every turn. So we have to be sure that we can get in our attacks when we can. Okay, pump up the Kylo, get in for 5. That's the nice thing about Maul here in the overwhelm situation, because we're able to hit their base while clearing out their units. Seasoned Short Troopers ends up being a 4/3, which is really nice as well. Ooh, and then we're going to be able to Cad Bane here. So Cad Bane, we'll go ahead and have our big Maul take the damage. And look at that. We've basically just refreshed all of our units and gotten the Maul down. So that's really, really nice. And we still have ECL available to us, which is really, really good as well. I haven't gone with the Fallen Lightsaber again because we're against this tempo deck, right? So we really don't want to be using a lot of our resources for something that might get exhausted. And there's a waylay on Kylo. So what we're going to do is force throw our opponent. They discard a Zuckuss. We'll go ahead and get that shield token off the Cartel Spacer. There's a Bosk. Sure. We'll deal 1 damage to the Seasoned Shore Trooper because they're going to kill the Seasoned Shore Trooper anyways. I'll be very surprised if they hit Maul. They're going to hit Maul. Okay, so we're going to go Fallen Lightsaber on Maul. And we're going to smack them for a lot of damage. Let's just say that. So we're going to go attack. And then they're going to take initiative. We're going to attack. We're going to replay Maul. And then we're going to pass. And I mean, I don't really know what my opponent could have here that would be able to deal with Maul and Darth Maul in this first action. And I mean, look at that. Opponent had a nice little tempo plan. And we are going to close out the game here. I think the critical thing was that turn 1. And Cad Bane players do this a lot. Not to say that it's a bad thing, because maybe your hand doesn't really function. But in order to get Cad Bane to work, you really need to be playing second. But what I'll do is I'll just pass into Cad Bane. If we go to turn 2 and nothing's happened, the value of Tarkin Town gets reduced significantly, because that's the whole game plan of these decks, is to get the tempo advantage early. So we just ran through a Cad Bane red, which I know a lot of people are considering to be one of the better decks in the format. So pretty nice one. Let's move on to game 2. Next up, we got ourselves a matchup against Anakin Blue. We're going to go into mulligan this one. No turn 1 play. This one's a lot better. I do like the force throws here, actually. I'm going to go and resource that Seasoned Short Trooper and probably the Kylo Ren. They're going to claim initiative. And I mean, if we were here and trying to test out, hey, how good is this deck? Well, I think that we really are running through the gauntlet here. Looks like Perilous is just going to come down. We're going to resupply. And I wouldn't have been able to ask for really some better options than what we got here. Really love the Kylo Ren here. I'm going to resource this timely intervention, I think, because what we could do is just ambush out our punishing one if we want to this turn. But also, we're really setting up for Maul next turn plus double force throw, which is going to look pretty nice. Let's see what my opponent's got. Pillage, huh? Okay, let's get rid of a punishing one. And honestly, let's get rid of these force throws. I'm just going to claim initiative here. So our opponent really getting some value here. And, ooh, phase 3 Dark Trooper can go to the resource pile. We're going to go ahead and get down Maul. Now let's see what my opponent has. Anakin, huh? Okay, we're going to go ahead and ECL out a Kylo. Give +2/+0 to the Maul. And then attack for 8. And, ooh, there's a Vader. Great draw. Fantastic draw. I'm going to resource this 5th brother. And, I mean, Kylo Ren sticking around here is really nice because it can one-shot the Anakin if it comes down. We can also one-shot Anakin with a force throw on Vader. Not that I want to do that because I would really like to play Vader this turn. There's the Village Protectors. And I think here what I want to do is just Play a Vader here. Let's see. What do I get? Fifth Brother or Phase 3? Ooh, I like Phase 3 here. I like getting that Sentinel. And what's cool about this is because we have Overwhelm on everything, we can just go ahead and hit their base, and it's not that big of a deal. Here, if our opponent plays like a Jedi Lightsaber, yes, they get up to 10. Ooh, they're going to hit the Kylo. Sure, we're going to claim initiative here. And I mean, double Fallen Lightsaber plus Fifth Brother. I don't think I'm going to resource anything here, actually. And what I'm going to do is just kill that Anakin. Get him off the board. Hit them for 1. Open fire comes down. Let's go Fifth Brother. R2 comes down. Let's go ahead and force throw them. What do they got? Concord Dawn Interceptor, sure. And let's go ahead and play a Fallen Lightsaber on our Fifth Brother. Price on your head looking kind of mediocre. Remember, we do have that timely intervention here, which can come down and do some pretty nice work for sure. See what my opponent decides to do. Maybe they sacrifice. Nope, they're going to hit the base. All right, let's go ahead and... I believe what I want to do is... They didn't kill my Fifth Brother immediately, so I think I'll just play a second Fall Lightsaber on the Fifth Brother. I think if they had Takedown or like Rival's Fall or Fell the Dragon, they would have used it. Ooh, there's a secondary R2. This actually works out pretty nicely because what we could do is Overwhelm, and we will deal damage to go ahead and hit their base and kill the R2. And now we will go ahead and claim initiative, and this is a 10-powered unit, so they're dead. Game's over, right? Just going to hit them for 11. GG. Pretty clean game there from MAUL here. Really nice stuff. I mean, the big thing was our opponent didn't have anything turn 1, which is really, really tough for Anakin Blue because you really want to get down something early to help control the board. But also, MAUL coming down and ECLing the Kylo out at the same turn, dealing with that Anakin is really, really massive as well. And we absolutely just kind of ran over our opponent with the Darth Vader follow-up, the double Fallen Lightsaber on the Fifth Brother, ended up closing out the game really nicely. And again, I decided to go with that play, the highest value, because of our opponent not immediately killing our Fifth Brother. If they had something to deal with Fifth Brother, almost assuredly would I expect them to kill the Fifth Brother without doing anything else. So, pretty good second game. Anakin Blue and Cad Bane Red. Some pretty talked about decks in the format right now, and we just crushed both of them. On to the next one. All right. And next up, we got ourselves a matchup against Anakin or Ahsoka Yellow. I don't actually remember. We got Mobius sleeves, guys. For those of you that don't know, we did a couple videos with this gentleman here. We ended up going ahead and doing the Did You Know Star Wars stuff, which was a lot of fun. But anyways, I wasn't sure if that was him or not. Let's go and get the Super Laser Technician down. Get ready for kind of just getting up to that MAUL a little bit earlier. There's a Cantina Braggart. And, ooh, a double Overwhelming Barrage. I don't necessarily think that's what we want to be doing yet. However, maybe I will go ahead and kill that Cantina Braggart. I don't know. Cantina Braggart's not really that scary. I think it's worthwhile because our opponents... We're going to resource that Fifth Brother, by the way. We don't want our opponent to really go ahead and have a bunch of units on board so they could take advantage of coordinates. Ooh, they're going to capture something, huh? Okay, we're going to go ahead and hit that Cantina Braggart here. And that's okay, because we have that Overwhelming Barrage. I'm going to hit for 3. Sure thing. Let's claim initiative. And let's see. We've got triple Overwhelming Barrage. All right, well, we're going to go all in on the Overwhelming Barrages here, huh? Let's go for... Overwhelming Barrage on the Super Laser Technician. Let's kill off the Cantina Braggart and the Shuttle. So we'll go 3 Shuttle, 1 to the Braggart. And then we'll see if they deploy Ahsoka. We'll just smack Ahsoka with the Grenade Strike, huh? Interesting. Not sure what Grenade Strike's going to be doing here. I mean, they could do 2 and then 1. Sure, we're going to go and hit with Hu Yang. Open fire, huh? All right, we'll pass. I'll hit for 4. We're going to go ahead and claim initiative. We can ECL out our Kylo next turn. Ooh, another Kylo. All right, let's get rid of that Ryloth Militia. And let's just ECL out this Kylo. Go ahead and give the +2/+0 to the Shore Trooper just in case they have a Plo Koon or something. And now Plo Koon is going to get killed by the Seasoned Shore Trooper. We're going to get down MAUL, which is going to be awesome. Let's go ahead and deploy our MAUL here. Let's see what our opponent's got. We got a lot of damage on our base, but this isn't really going to matter. We're going to kill off any unit that they play because we're going to overwhelm through, keep control of the board, and then we also have the double overwhelming barrage to really seal the deal. And they're passing, which means that this game is basically over. I don't really see anything that they could possibly do. We're going to get down overwhelming barrage plus silencer this turn. And I mean, overwhelming barrage on the MAUL here. We're going to clean up the entire board. Just get rid of this, and this. They're going to play a shuttle. Sure. We're going to go ahead and attack with MAUL for 8. And then we're going to finish off the game with the Kylo Ren attack. And that was pretty straightforward. Not really anything like I didn't expect to lose at any point. The Sanctioner shuttle was a pretty nice turn for them off the, the Hu Yang play. So I suppose that was pretty cool. But outside of that, I mean, the game was completely one-sided, The fact that their turn where they flipped Ahsoka was Grenade Strike plus open fire was extremely weak. Not only did that not finish off the Seasoned Shore Trooper, which they did the 2 damage to, so Grenade Strike was basically just deal 1 damage and kill my Super Laser Technician, but also they really want to be pulling units when you got Ahsoka here, for sure. Like, that's what you want to be doing because of the coordinate, and so Ahsoka didn't have that 6 power, or a 5 power, which would have been nice as well. But let's move on to the next one. Into our next matchup, we got ourselves an interesting one against Dooku Blue. And I'm going to go ahead and just start off with this Ryloth Militia. Nice little Battlefield Marine here. Don't mind that at all. And Super Laser Technician, pretty nice here. What's interesting about Count Dooku is because they're going to be exploiting and having cheaper units, the Overwhelm actually might come into play here with the MAUL, which is going to be pretty nice. So if they play like a Battle Droid token, I'm 100% hitting that Battle Droid token, hitting them for 2 instead of dealing 3 to the base. It's just extreme value with the Overwhelm on MAUL. So we're going to go and start off with the Ryloth Militia, and let's see what my opponent's got. A Poggle. Okay, so Poggle is definitely a card that can be a little bit scary for sure in the Separatist decks, no doubt about it. There's an Emperor Palpatine and a price on your head. I think I'll resource this price on your head. And I think what I'll do is just get down this Super Laser Technician to start us off. I have a feeling our opponent's going to be playing something, then exploiting something else out. And this can get really crazy really quickly. Poggle, as I said, is one of the chase cards that you really want on turn 1, assuming your opponent can't immediately kill it, right? This is going to just provide so much value for them over the course of this game. There's a Separatist Commando, and ooh, that is probably the nightmare scenario for us, to be honest. They're going to be able to kill our Rival Militia and get a Battle Droid token. And I mean, this is where Dooku really shines. Like, these are the 2 best cards in the Separatist Synergy deck, to be honest. And when I see something like this, it really shakes up the game. But here, what I can do is start off by ECLing out a 5th Brother, hit the Poggle, and I'll deal 1 damage to 5th Brother to kill off the Droid Commando, just so I can hit the Poggle for a little bit of damage. And this is going to help me a little bit to kind of clear up the board just a little bit. I know it's not the strongest ECL, but I think what our opponent's going to start doing is just getting down some bigger units, and that's going to make things a lot more tricky for us. Let's go ahead and just hit their Calculating Magna Guard here for 2, and let's see if our opponent decides to go ahead and hit our 5th Brother. I think in this spot, you probably just take initiative. Oh, they have something to exploit out. That makes a lot more sense. Hopefully it's not another Separatist Commando. Okay, they're going to play a Confederate Courier, and we're going to go ahead and claim initiative here. Let's see what our opponent's got. Would love to draw a force throw here, to be honest. Okay. Opponent's got nothing. Awesome. Kylo Ren is a pretty good draw. I think it will resource this Fallen Lightsaber because we kind of have a really nice curve now that we've drawn the Kylo Ren. Lots of very strong plays in our hand. And we're going to start off by deploying. No, we're going to go ahead and use the action here. We're going to attack. Yeah, we're going to attack the Calculating Magna Guard, deal 1 damage to Fifth Brother, hit the Poggle, so we get to hit their base, kill the Magna Guard, and kill the Poggle, which ends up working pretty nicely for us. And we'll see if our opponent has anything crazy to deploy here. If they have like a Malevolence, which they could absolutely play here, we have the answer in MAUL plus Overwhelming Barrage. So that's pretty nice. I am just going to deploy MAUL. If they have a Power of the Dark Side, they have a Power of the Dark Side. I think I'd rather have Kylo Ren on the battlefield than MAUL anyways. There's a Malevolence here. So exactly what I was expecting here. Honestly, it's pretty funny. And we're going to go ahead and deploy Kylo. And then they're going to claim initiative. We're going to hit their base for 1 and kill off their Battle Droid token. There's a Super Laser Technician and a Phase 3 Dark Trooper. We're going to go and resource that Super Laser Technician. See if our opponent's got anything too crazy here. Would love to get down to Darth Vader here, but we kind of have to deal with this Malevolence for sure. Overwhelming Barrage, huh? All right, that's a good card. Overwhelming Barrage going to kill off probably Kylo. If I had to choose, I would be killing Kylo for sure. But, you know, my opponent, maybe they got a different suggestion here. They get 9 damage, so they could deal quite a bit. Yep, kill Kylo. Makes sense to me. We are going to Overwhelming Barrage the Malevolence for 8. And this ends up benefiting us a little bit because they're going to smack us for 8, restore a little bit, or 9 rather, and we're going to smack them for 8. They might exploit out their Malevolence here. I wouldn't be surprised if they do, because it's dead at the end of the turn. So they don't. So they got nothing, really. And we drew another Vader and a Darth Maul. So pretty interesting options here. I think Darth Maul is going to be pretty weak, because it does give us immediate value on the board, unlike literally every one of our other units. So let's resource that one. Count Dooku, huh? Okay, let's go Darth Maul here. Or Darth Vader, rather, not Darth Maul. And we can grab a Punishing One or a Seasoned Shore Trooper. We'll go ahead and get the Seasoned Shore Trooper, hit their Count Dooku. So really, really nice plays from our opponents. Really just a nice curve, right? The thing that really changed the game was that turn 1, Poggle into Subdroid Commando, right? That is what shifts the game 100%. Let's go ahead and claim initiative here. Let's see what my opponent's going to do. I wouldn't be surprised if they just finish off Darth Vader. If they do that, then we're in a pretty decent spot, to be honest. But we'll see. I think if I'm them, I just go for the base, to be honest. Yep. I think that's a very smart play by them. We draw the Overwhelming Barrage, which is pretty nice. So we could go Overwhelming Barrage plus Phase 3. Okay. I think I'll start by killing their Count Dooku mini version. Ooh, and they have a second Count Dooku. What a crazy scenario. Oh, they should have defeated this. It's defeated. I'll just play another. It's defeated. It's defeated. It's defeated. We'll defeat it. I was like, we'll just defeat it for you. Let's go ahead and hit. Hey, it's defeated. Calm down. There's no reason to try to reset. I played the Vader. It got defeated. They're gonna hit for 5, and I don't think we have any answers to this. Our opponent just had, again, Really, really good plays across the board. I mean, we have the phase 3 Dark Trooper, which, I mean, we can try to stall out for just a little bit. If they attack with a Count Dooku, they'd be dealing 2 damage to our base. Maybe we could do something here. Depends on how they attack here. This is all up to our opponent. If our opponent just hits with the Count Dooku leader, then the game is over. There's nothing that we can do. If our opponent hits with the shielded Count Dooku to try to save both of them, then we have some options for sure, because we can kill off... Oh, they have a droid commando. That works as well. So GG to our opponent. And that was a good game. Our opponent had a really nice kind of late game curve there. As I said, it's really the starting game that Count Dooku is really struggling on to kind of get set up. And they had the literal perfect. Poggle in a Separatist Commando is the dream setup. And that's exactly what they had. Unfortunately for us, our turn 1 play did not have 3 power. So it had 3 power on attacks, but because we didn't trade with the Separatist Commando, it completely shifted the whole game. And that put us in a really, really bad spot to the point where we were kind of playing on a back foot trying to catch up. And even though we were able to kill out the Malevolence, they had the overwhelming barrage on their Malevolence, which completely annihilated our board. And then they curved that into Count Dooku, which wiped out the rest of it. Double Count Dooku, in fact. So really nice stuff from our opponent. Moving on to our next one, we got ourselves an interesting one. I'm going to go ahead and keep both Super Laser Technicians. We got ourselves a game against Django Green. So I imagine very similar to Bobo Green, but with a little bit of a Django spin. So P-38s. I'd be expecting, you know, maybe some holdout blasters and such. We have a reasonable hand here. Nothing too exciting, but we are going to be able to ramp into MAUL pretty quickly. And we do have that overwhelming barrage, which is nice. So Crafty Smuggler comes down. We're going to go ahead and claim initiative. Force Throw, I do like. I'm going to go to resource one of these Super Laser Technicians because I drew the Kylo Ren and Force Throw, and I like both those cards. Let's go ahead and drop in that Super Laser Tech. And we're just going to attack for 3. So our opponent with the Super Laser Technician on the board are going to be able to... Well, they're going to claim initiative. I'm a little bit surprised on that one. Double Force Throw. Okay. I'm a little bit surprised that our opponent decided to go with that direction. I like double Force Throw here, and I think this is the way we're going to be able to catch up in this game, is double Force Throwing our opponent kind of out of the game. And they're going to hit our Super Laser Technician almost assuredly. We're going to go ahead and hit them for 3 with the Silencer. They're going to hit for 2. We're going to pass. If their opponent claims initiative, that's great for us, right? Absolutely fantastic for us. If our opponent does do something, sure, whatever, it doesn't really matter. But it looks like our opponent went ahead and did nothing. So love that. Like, absolutely love that. And we're just going to go ahead and deploy MAUL. Right, get down MAUL. They got a no good to me dead. Sure, it doesn't matter because all we care about is getting overwhelming barrage and Force Throws down, right? That's all we care about. I can't believe our opponent just passed our claimed initiative there after we did nothing. So really, really love that, to be honest. Let's go ahead and get down a Kylo Ren here. I know I could go Force Throw plus overwhelming barrage. We're going to go ahead and claim initiative. Sure, they can go ahead and attack with Django, but it doesn't really matter. Let's go to resource that resupply. Here, we're just going to go ahead and attack their Django with our Kylo Ren. Get in a damage to their base. They have a Darth Vader. Sure, let's see if they decide to kill off the Kylo or hit my MAUL. Salacious Crumb, huh? Okay, and Bazine. All right, so Bazine is a really nice draw. That was probably the best thing that they could grab off the top. They're going to be able to grab my Overwhelming Barrage, which is really, really scary. But hey. Ooh, there's a MAUL, huh? Ooh, I like MAUL. I really like MAUL, actually. Let's go ahead and just drop in MAUL. And we're going to hit Darth Vader. We'll let MAUL take the damage here. Okay, we're going to go ahead and claim initiative. See if our opponent finishes off our MAUL, whichever MAUL. And we have a lot of units on the battlefield. I'll say that much. Lots and lots of units. Let's just go ahead and start off by hitting... I suppose we could hit their base for 7. And then Kylo Ren can finish it off if they don't have any answer. Of course, they do. Ooh, another Darth Vader. What a crazy curve for our opponent. Double Darth Vader here to kind of set up the game for them. Let's see what they've got in terms of things off the top. P38. Ooh, what a disgusting grab. It gets at the Maul and it kills off the... Wow, what a crazy, crazy situation. Let's go Kylo Ren ECL. Let's go ahead and hit the Salacious Crumb. Give the Kylo Ren +2/+0. And they have to take initiative here. They don't have any options. Because if we just claim initiative after they do any attack, then we win, right? So we're going to force throw our opponent. See what they are going to discard. They should know we have a second one coming. Okay, they discarded Bazine. Sure. Let's go ahead and hit that Crafty Smuggler. Let's go force throw our opponent. See what you got, opponent. Cad Bane, huh? Ooh, so they're discarded Cad Bane, which means they have like probably another Cad Bane is my guess, like just a second one, which is fine. Let's go ahead and resource probably this fifth brother because I want to go Maul plus Ryloth Militia. Okay, so they have a Maul here. Let's go Maul. No ambush. And my guess is that they would take initiative here. They can't really risk just dying. Ooh, they're not going to take initiative, huh? That's a risky one. It's very risky. Opponent has just had an amazing kind of late game. Darth Vader, Cad Bane plus Maul. Really, really good. We also had a pretty good late game, but we haven't really drawn anything of our explosive options, right? So they can hit 7. We kind of have to hit their Maul here, huh? Yeah, we don't have really options because they hit us for 7. And that's the game, I think. Because we could have ambushed, but I was really looking for something else that would give us an edge, like a fallen lightsaber or something. But yeah, our opponent having that Bazine off of Darth Vader really, really shifted the game because they got rid of our Overwhelming Barrage. We didn't draw our second Overwhelming Barrage. So what I could do here is if I attack, they hit for 6. I mean, we're not out of the game yet, but we have to kill Maul here. We're going to play a punishing one. See if they decide to trade with the punishing one. I'd be a little bit surprised if they did. Let's go Seasoned Shore Trooper. See if they decide to play something. Man, if we drew like a Vader or something. Crate Dragon. I think we only have the one of, though, if I remember correctly. I'm trying to remember exactly what's in our list. The Darth Maul would do nothing because they have a couple space units here. Punishing one's good. They're going to hit for 1. Let's go ahead and play a Ryloth Militia. They're going to claim initiative. Let's play a second Ryloth Militia. And, oop, nope, that's not going to win us the game by any means. They can attack, and then they attack. There's a Maul, sure, finishes it off. So it didn't even matter. They had a Maul. GG. So GG to our opponent. Really nice one. Finishing it off with the Maul. I think the deck is great. I really do like Django Green. But they had the Vader, the Bazine off of Vader, which completely changed the game. Maybe if we drew one of our Vaders, that might have been able to compete. But they just kind of got too much value between all of them with the Darth Vaders and Mauls here. Just too much late game potential where we were competing with like Kylos, which didn't really get to attack. And the key factor was getting rid of that Overwhelming Barrage, right? That was something that I was kind of setting up. And they had the Vader to get rid of that, which is really, really important. And the key was killing my unit, getting the Bazine, and killing that other thing. Same with their second Vader, right? Getting that P38, which was able to give them the ability to kill both my units. Really, really important there. Let's move on to the next one. Moving into the next game, a little bit light on the ramp, but I do like this hand. I'm going to go start off with the Ryloth Militia into punishing one. I'm going to keep the Crate Dragon and Darth Vader here. So opponent's playing the Bo-Katan Blue over there. Definitely not something I've seen since set 2, really. But I've always liked Bo-Katan Blue. Sabine Wren and, Fantastic. We had just to kill their Sabine Wren and move on with our lives, right? Let's go to resource this Hu Yang, or maybe just the Crate Dragon. I'm going to resource the Crate Dragon. It'll probably give us more options, but we're just going to kill that Sabine Wren, and now they have no play. And oh my gosh, punishing one, finishing off their Disabling Fang Fighter is crazy, by the way. Let's go ahead and pass. Time Intervention can go ahead and drop into the resource pile here. Ooh, okay. There's Mandalorian Warrior. I think what I'll do here is just kill off the Mandalorian Warrior. They're going to attack. They're going to finish off Punishing One. Sure, we're going to replay Punishing One here. We're going to claim initiative. I was a little surprised they decided to go with that direction, to be honest. Do I want Maul or do I want Vader? I think I want Vader more than I want Maul. So let's go ahead and just drop in a Hu Yang, pump up our Punishing One. Unfortunately, Hu Yang is not a force unit, so we can't force throw off of Hu Yang. Ah, Survivor's Gauntlet, huh? Okay, let's go ahead and attack their base for 5. And we're going to pass. Hu Yang Part 2, resupply. Gonna go ECL with Kylo most likely here. Sure, we're gonna go ahead and trade with the Survivor's Gauntlet after they've attacked. Let's go ahead and flip over Maul here. Rivals Fall. Sure, let's attack with Hu Yang. And let's ECL to Kylo. Kill their Bo-Katan in one shot. And I mean, yeah, they Rivals Fall my Maul, but we deploy to the board. We get to kill their leader too. And I mean, we're in a really good spot, especially with the Vader and Palpatine in our hands. So, and they're just saying GG. Okay, really the key factor there was turn 1, killing their Sabine, and they couldn't interact, right? That's the initiative difference. Because if we don't have initiative, they kill all Ryloth Militia, and they get to give their Sabine an experience off of Mandalorian Warrior potentially. Instead, they had to go Disabling Fang Fighter and like Survivor's Gauntlet, all of which were pretty weak plays, but pretty quick game. Let's move on to the next. All right, and looks like to finish this off, we've got a Sabine Green. So we've been doing pretty good, right? 2 wins, or 4 wins, 2 losses. Did lose against that Django Green deck, and oh my gosh, I forgot what we lost against before that. But so far, so good. This is a pretty weak hand, especially with no turn 1 plays. Against Sabine, you really need a turn 1 play. I would love a Silencer, because if they go A-Wing, we just trade or get to kill it, or they have to trade with it. Ryloth Militia is another good one. Both those are the 3 powered attackers that I'm really looking for. But we'll see. Our opponent is thinking a little bit for what they want to resource here. The key to this matchup is getting to the Maul deploy without taking too much damage, right? Because they could still like one-shot our Maul in a lot of spots. Not a amazing hand here, but reasonable. I'm going to resource this Crate Dragon in this price on your head. I would have liked the option to have both Ryloth Militia and TIE Silencer. This is, I should say, I shouldn't be too unhappy. It's a good hand. I would much prefer to have the option of a ground unit or a space unit, especially when I'm on the draw here. I say on the draw, but when I'm not in the place to have initiative, because our opponent could certainly just go ahead and drop in whatever thing that we don't have and be fine. Oh, they have a Daring Raid. If that's how this game's going to start, I'm perfectly happy with it, to be honest. Phase 3, Dark Trooper, and a resupply here. Do I want to go with the resupply, or do I just want to get down something to the board? I think in this spot, I actually do want to resupply. Let's see what my opponent's got. Red 3. All right. So we're going to go ahead and ECL out the Red 3, almost assuredly. Deal a damage to each of us. Sure thing. Makes sense. There's a Fallen Lightsaber and a Emperor Palpatine. Don't think the Emperor Palpatine is going to do all that much here. Let's go start off with the ECL Punishing One. We just got to take as much damage off the board as we possibly can. Would have loved for this to be a Consortium Star Viper here. Get that Restore 2 in as well. Unfortunately, this deck doesn't really have any Restore. So we're going to ECL, Punishing One, kill their Red 3. And then we're going to go ahead and claim initiative. And we're going to hope that our opponent doesn't have a Poe Dameron. Because if they have Poe Dameron, they get to kill my Maul. on ECL. They get to trade, but we really want MAUL so that we can set up for that force throw and maybe the fallen lightsaber as well. Okay, attack for 6 or a 3 plus 1, so 4. Let's see what my opponent's got here. They don't have any. I mean, they could have a metal ceremony. If they have a metal ceremony, I think you just do it on the Sabine for sure. Okay, Kylo Ren, not a terrible draw. I think it is pretty bad actually, because we don't have ECL available to us. I do like Darth Vader though. That is a nice draw. So we're gonna drop in a MAUL, and I mean, if they have the Poe Dameron, then we are in a little bit of trouble for sure. Let's just hope they don't have Poe Dameron. I think if they do have Poe Dameron, they just don't care about the punishing one. They ambush, discard a card to deal 2 damage to our base, and then that's that. But it's still struggling on what to resource here, so let's just wait a second. See what you got, opponent. Okay, they did resource, so we're going to deploy MAUL. If they have the Poe Dameron, they got the Poe Dameron. Nothing we really could do about it. So we'll see, I suppose. I think if you have Poe Dameron, ooh, Rebel Assault, huh? Okay, so they don't have the Poe Dameron. They're gonna hit for what? 10? That's good. That's real good. Let's go ahead and drop in a Fallen Lightsaber on our MAUL. Let's see what they have to follow up. Remember, we could force throw ourselves, discarding. Oop, there's a For a Cause. Ooh, okay. So what do they reveal? Poe Dameron, Bright Hope, Fighters for Freedom. Do they keep the Poe Damerons? Nope, they discard both of them. Makes me think that they have a Wrecker in hand. So let's go ahead and just hit the Sabine Wren. And then let's go ahead and hit their base for 3. Metal Ceremony, huh? Ooh, we're going to force throw our opponent. I'm assuming they have a Wrecker based if they didn't keep the Poe Damerons on top. Then I think they have a Wrecker. A Yularen here. Wow. Well, I am wrong about that one, huh? All right. That's game, because I can't even attack with MAUL without dying. Wow. Why didn't they keep Poe Dameron on top if they didn't have a Wrecker in hand? I guess I should have discarded the Darth Maul, right? That would have been the guaranteed play, but I didn't think that they would have the... Let's see, what do we want here? We can't get anything. I didn't think that they have the Yularen. It didn't make much sense to me to go ahead and just discard all 4 of them. But yeah, GG to our opponent. I definitely should have just discarded my own Vader, right? That would have been the play to make. Metal Ceremony ended up working out for them, getting them just out of range with that K2SO. So they had to have the combination of Metal Ceremony plus a 3 resource or less play in their hand. I just assumed they had Wrecker. That was just my mind game here, and I missed on the mind game, right? Should have just gone for the Darth Vader. But again, they have ECL. So to me, not putting a Poe Dameron on top, which is probably the best card you could possibly draw besides For a Cause or a Daring Raid in that spot, just doesn't make too much sense. So, hey, maybe our opponent just couldn't do it because of Carabas or something, but we end up getting crushed by this Sabine. If let's say we had gone ahead and killed their K2, we would have taken 3 damage, right? So we would have been at 22 after they used the Sabine action, or rather 23 after the Sabine action. And then we would have gone ahead and hit them for 9, right? So they use Sabine action, let's say, or maybe they play a unit. We hit them for 9, and then we just take initiative. We probably win. Unless they draw a For a Cause, right? Or honestly, if they put the Poe Dameron on top, we would have been in trouble, right? Because if they put the Poe Dameron on top, they use the Sabine action, so we go up to 22 or 23, and then they use the Poe Dameron and kill us. So I guess we probably wouldn't have won this game, assuming our opponent put the Poe Dameron on top. Or if they have a Wrecker, of course, we lose that way as well. We had a lot of different ways to lose. Let's just say that. That's the danger of Sabine. But it wasn't too far away from us winning. I think the key factor there was the fact that we didn't draw any overloading barrages. That's huge, right? But also we had that turn where we only played a 3 resource play, and we couldn't do anything else with the 2 resources after we ramped, which is really crucial as well. So nice game. That was a lot of fun. And let's talk about MAUL, guys. All right. So what did we learn with MAUL ECL today? Well, first off, there was one card that really performed well. And honestly, it's like every single time I play with this card, I'm always like, dang, this card does a lot of work. And that's Kylo Ren. Now, of course, if you aren't able to have ECL in your deck, Kylo Ren gets a decent amount worse because you still have to wait for the on-attack and actually get value that way. But you saw there where we were ECLing out Kylo Ren, killing 8 toughness leaders, being able to pump our other units, have a really high-powered unit for Overwhelming Barrage, massive hits, like 10 plus damage, which is really awesome. So Kylo Ren really, in those games where we're able to curve out in the ground and your opponent's playing a leader, and then you're able to ECL Kylo in response, it kind of just takes control over the whole game. It's almost like that Poe Dameron slash Wrecker type effect where you have to constantly be fearing this unit. And I think a lot of people are expecting it from the heroism side of things, but not from the villainy side of things, where Kylo Ren kind of is a little bit surprising. Of course, all of our late game is still very good, like Darth Vader's and Mauls and Palps and Crate Dragons and all that type of stuff. All very good cards, depending on the matchup, of course. Darth Maul we didn't really get to see a lot of, but it's really good against the matchups like Sabine, which we didn't see Darth Maul in that matchup either. But if we are able to get them all out and take care of 2 units and clean up the board, especially since Maul, if you ECL it out, especially after like a Super Laser Technician, you're able to kill like Sabine Wren and things like that with the 5 power. It's extremely powerful. But of course, didn't see it. Still worth it, at least from my experience. It's also really nice with Maul's ability. Everything else, kind of just like glue pieces, right? A couple of cards that I think are a little bit unassuming, but really important to the deck. Ryloth Militia and Silencer. A couple of the games you saw, like the game felt won just because we played a 3-powered unit on turn 1. And it's really hard to see those cards in aggression command villainy. Not just 3-powered units, but 3-power, 3 toughness units on turn 1. Battlefield Marine type stats. You see a lot of 2-3s like Shore Trooper, Ular, and things like that. And you saw a lot of 3-1s like Death Star Stormtrooper, for example. But 3-3s in Ryloth Militia are really hard to come by. And that's really important. Fifth Brother was very good in some of the games, getting that Force synergies and helping us win in some of the games. Force Throw, Overwhelming Barrage, all that type of stuff is all still pretty good. I would say this deck is solid. It's not insane by any means. It's not like weak or anything like that. I don't necessarily think I would be kind of interested in playing it, like in terms of building out the deck and playing it in paper. It's not something that's extremely exciting to me. The Overwhelm ability on the front side, you really don't get all that many uses from it. Giving your units Overwhelm on the flip side is strong, but that's the only thing that Maul is really providing is his flip, right? The 6/6, the overwhelm to everything. That's where he becomes really solid. And unfortunately, it's just a little bit too late in a lot of circumstances. And so for me, he's still going to fit into like that B tier category. Just solid, but nothing super exciting to where you're like, oh my gosh, this guy is absolutely dominating. So let me know what you think about MAUL ECL in the comment section down below. I know the last time we played this was on Force Table, so at least we got to see against some players and some really solid decks. We did see that Cad Red, the Anakin Blues, the Sabine Greens. Like we basically got to see the whole gauntlet today in terms of strong decks that people are looking out for. You didn't get to see the Django Red, I suppose, and that's a pretty tough matchup for MAUL. So just keep that in mind. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all for the next one.